Welcome back everyone to another training week. You're watching the week of May 15th, where I've almost started a ritual and taken a dip in the waters of New Zealand once again. So fresh and ready for the vlogs. Focus of the weeks was to get back into my usual training rhythm that I was doing before the Oceania Championships, prioritize those new additions and test them out on a little mock comp on Friday. So at this stage, I'm actually kind of leaning towards doing all around at TriStar Champs, at Auckland Champs this coming Saturday. It's a 2-day competition, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know. I just wanna send some stuff, you know. So last week we talked about the skills that I've been playing with, dowel pike on floor, on pommel horse. I've been trying to do Ethan's Russian flop. So you'll see me trying to get this circle going outwardly and then doing the loop 1080 Russian on the single pommel. I don't know where this idea came from. I guess I've been just doing a lot of one handles, so I kind of want to capitalize on it and see if I can take it to the next step. Now this layout punch double pike is nowhere near ready enough to throw in a competition, but hey, I'm willing to throw it at a competition. So big 0.1 upgrade, you know, massive 0.1 difference between the double tuck and the double pike. And without spoiling, I did try it on Friday's mock comp, so you can look forward to seeing what happened there. And let me tell you, it wasn't a good thing. We'll definitely put in the inverted cross on rings. And my wrist, as much as it's still bothering me, vault doesn't feel too bad. Like I did a double twist on Friday and it actually went quite well. And I can just do a full twist if I'm not feeling vault over hard. Something new that happened was a handspring layouty, tucky front layout just onto the pit mat on vault the other day. I changed my technique a bit, but we'll go through that after. So anyway, P-bars is going to be the peach half and the Makutes for a 16.3 difficulty score. And high bar, man, I say it with hesitation. I say it with hesitation because I know how much of a massive step, not even a massive step, how much of a quantum leap it would be to just all of a sudden crank a Maris as a last apparatus on high bar, or during the last apparatus on high bar. Pretty confident that the senior group will be starting on floor, but hey, if we're lucky we might start on pommel and rings, so I'll be a little bit fresher. But you know, now we're kind of dealing with not so safe things. We're putting it a little bit in the danger zone, but at the same time I'd like everybody to understand that I've been doing these releases for so many years, forwards releases for more than a decade, that you know, you never know 100% where you're going to place it, and there's always a risk. You know, we've seen even the greats like Epke Zonderland literally almost break his back at Rio Olympics trying to do the connections, yet miraculously stand back up and finish the routine. So you never know 100% what could happen. You can only make your best guess, but the guess is educated enough in my case that I'm probably not going to, you know, eat the bar with my face, which by the way I have done before on a Pike Gaylord. Smack the bar right here, and yeah, that's a story for another time, but I believe I've told it before. You know, so as much as from the outlook it might look like it's just bad practice and you know, doing things that one is not ready for, I'm definitely ready to do it in the competition. I might not be ready to catch it in the competition, but I'm definitely ready to do it. And it reminds me of a quote from Kenzo Shirai, as they call him in Japan. But it reminds me of a quote from Kenzo where he said something on the lines of going to test skills out at the competition. So he would actually do skills that he couldn't quite get in training at the competition. And I remember this particular interview. It was during the Toyota Cup, 2011, perhaps. No, must have been much later than 2011 because he wasn't around back then. It was a Toyota Cup. They don't have that competition anymore, but a lot of you might remember it from back in the day. There was Tokyo Cup, and then there was Toyota Cup in December. So it was Toyota Cup, and the guy just went to Haiba and just to throw a casino. And if memory serves me correctly, he had not actually caught one in training before. He had done plenty, and he was kind of hoping that, you know, the extra adrenaline would get him through. Layout triple double was much the same. He talked about going to kind of feel the waters, feel what it's like in the competition. Again, because you get something in the competition that you cannot replicate in an ordinary training session. And now with with a lot of experience doing these releases, I think that's the reason why I'm okay with sending such difficult skills without a proper readiness to send them. Doesn't mean that, you know, everybody should be doing the same. Obviously, everybody's in a slightly different part of their athletic life, different stages. And we can say the same for the layout double pike. It's very unlikely to land on my feet, but I've been doing layout double front for so long, since I was about 14, so almost getting close to 20 years now, that fundamentally it's the same thing, just in a much more difficult position to rotate around. So worst thing that happens is, you know, you land on your bum. I gotta say though, all those short landings have been catching up and taking a toll on my lower back. I've started to feel some pain in my lower back. So, you know, that's the price you pay for rushing into doing things over solid surfaces and all that. What do you reckon? Is my inverted cross gonna get paid? 3 for arch, 3 for height, 1 for elbows. That's already 0.7 off just at a glance. If it gets paid, it'll give me 0.4. Do you reckon it will get paid? Now, I noticed that my floor fitness was clearly lower, after taking a week off. So was pommel horse, but on rings, I managed to get through the whole thing with just a double back full twist dismount. So it's interesting to see how different apparatus or different parts of your body, different energy systems lose or retain fitness, strength in different proportions. So on rings, I was able to get through a whole routine minus 1 twist on the dismount with a whole extra strength part at the beginning, whereas on floor I watered down a lot of my floor besides that double pike, of course, and still couldn't get the front double twist onto my feet, which is a relatively easy floor dismount. On P-bars, on the other hand, fitness was okay. I'm upgrading one skill, the peach to the peach half, and I'm adding a whole separate skill, which is the Makuts. And as a 5th apparatus, the fitness was more or less there. Hopefully, just a 0.1 for the bent arms on that peach half. So I'll be immediately losing my 0.1 gains for the added value, but if it happens like that, then I wouldn't be losing over the top. So there you can see the fitness is okay up until that stutz. That stutz at the end, something about swinging over is quite difficult for me. I feel like I'm swinging up and over, but I'm not. I'm actually letting go quite early and cutting the swing short. what I noticed was on P-bar I felt okay, but high bars where things start to get, you know, mentally and physically difficult. And I think when things get mentally difficult, it does translate to physical difficulty, because when you're mentally exhausted, you don't want to do something, especially when it's, you know, when it's high bar releases like that, and high bar releases that you haven't trained in a while. So once again, I'm finding myself going through that mini hell that I was going through before Oceanias, sitting there exhausted and depleted before high bar, yet having to compose myself, having to gather all of my mental strength and send the big high flying releases. The single work on pommels, you'll notice that I added the other handle, which makes the single pommel work harder. Before I could get away with quite a big kind of lowering of the legs, because you're not going to hit much. But now with the second handle there, I can't circle too small. My circle has to start getting wider and picking up some speed. When the speed picks up, it makes it more and more difficult to put that right hand on the handle. And I'm sure many of you guys, many of the listeners know what I'm talking about, because it's actually quite common that gymnasts, especially more rings working gymnasts, struggle to get a locked elbow onto the single pommel, or even onto the leather for that matter. Do you remember the struggle after the World Cups preparing pommel horse? But here, look, 1 week off and all the skills are still there. So fitness is clearly down a bit, but I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the Maggia, Salvato and everything else felt okay. So until this moment, the closest I've gotten to that D flop is those two single circles. Now, way back in the day, I did used to do the D Russian flop on the other single pommel, but that was, you know, that was in my sophomore year of Ohio State University. So I would have been about 21 years old, so 10 years ago. But this time I'm training it on the left handle, so something a bit foreign to me. There is a reason why I'm trying to do it on the outer handle, because if I do it how I previously used to do it, then I won't be doing the B Salvato. So I'll be switching out the D for a B, or the B for a D, and only adding 0.2 to the routine for such a difficult, in my case anyway, difficult D flop. You all know how difficult circling on the one handle is for me. Man, it's difficult. I cringe just thinking about it, it's so hard. So if I do the circle Russian facing outwards, then I'll count the D flop and still be able to do the B Salvato, meaning I will gain 0.3 and replace an A instead of a B. So here's where I put my hands down instead of reaching forward, and check that out. That's the first ever layout-ish vault I've ever done. And believe it or not, the closest I could ever come to that was a flat back. In most instances, actually landing on my shoulders first and then flopping over with my legs. Why I'm doing handspring front layout, I don't know. But it's because I don't want to do Yurchenko's 2 days in a row to preserve my wrist. So we're watching Thursday, I think. Thursday. And keep in mind, I did the mock comp on Friday. It was a massive week. And it's reflected in a much longer video. Pretty much 25 minutes. Believe it or not, I actually cut out quite a bit of footage. Most of it was just me messing up and having bad turns on the single pommel. but I've taken out quite a bit. I think it was something like 40 minutes when all the clips were put together. So it's a massive week. I don't think I can do this amount of gymnastics every week. So I've got to say, thank you to those that have responded. Looks like I'm getting an okay go ahead from everybody to go ahead and throw that Maris on high bar. You know, as always, we go by feel. If I'm there, last apparatus, and I'm not feeling safe, it's better to be safe than sorry, especially with a skill like that. Otherwise, if my focus feels good, if I feel like it's worth a test, then I don't see why not. And what you'll see on the Friday from this week, you will see me throw the Maris in the mock competition. And I wasn't really trying to catch the Maris or Cassina. I was seeing, okay, if I go at full juice, give it full throttle, and, you know, obviously not go too late, but go a little bit later than I otherwise would if I was trying to catch. Can I get one hand on the bar, and how high is my body going to be in relation to the bar when my hand touches? So I did the similar thing for Cassina as well. You'll get to see that all in a little bit. The speed in my front giants is picking up. I feel like I've still got that power that I've amassed from all the training I did leading up to Oceania. So here we are on Friday. I included my so Friday I did the whole 30-minute general warm-up, 10 minutes per apparatus, and one touch present. I left out the boring stuff, but included just those few in the warm-up. So here we go. We started on floor. How did it go? Decent takeoff, but decided to tuck it. Wouldn't have landed it if I piked it, but decent takeoff nonetheless. We're still preserving the old Achilles, doing the backward tumbling on the air track. It was a bit weird doing that whip 2.5 back the opposite way, which I usually come from. And I almost landed off the tumble track. Gotta be careful there. So there you see my legs are gassing out. So a bit of struggle street in terms of cardio, in terms of leg fitness. Pommel horse. Pretty decent scissor. And there we go, just feeling out what's it like. What's it like to actually put on a uniform, be in a competition setting, and go for this flop. It's kind of funny because I actually have never made that flop. I haven't even made it on the low pommel horse where you see me training my single pommels, but still sending it in a mock competition. Not too convinced that I'll send the flop this coming weekend. It almost feels, it's a bit pointless. Maybe if I've made like one by then, maybe I can try it for fun, but kind of want a little bit of redemption from that 12-2 pommel horse at Oceania. You reckon that inverted cross would have got paid? I'm not so sure. I don't know. And once again, just a double tuck full. And giants felt quite difficult as well, but it'll come. Looks like it's time to start sending 2.5s, at least over soft. So we're fifth apparatus in. We've done some bigger routines than Oceania. Plus we took a week off, so the fitness is a bit less than it otherwise was. Yet, still making it through the majority of this P-bar routine. A bit early there on the pull. Should have given it another moment through the bottom before yanking that peach up. So not sure, don't think that Makutes would have received credit, but you know, pretty happy that I at least got the foundation of the skill that late in the routine. Stutz, can't say the same. I think it's a repetition thing, a numbers thing, getting used to doing that Stutz so late in the routine. So obviously a bit tired, probably could have taken a step forward there. But you know, pretty stoked. High bar. This is the one touch. So like I've explained, I'll do the Casina warm up in my 10-minute, and I'll save the Maras for the one touch, which is exactly what I was doing when I was competing Pagan last year. So the goal was to give the bar a good touch. Tick. Now how high was the body? A little bit below the bar, but not bad at all. If you've been watching the Mars closely, you'll know that usually my hand is quite high up, my body's quite a ways below the bar, but that one was almost level, which means it's almost ready for the catch. The Casina was late. I wasn't really trying to catch it. I was definitely trying to catch the Coleman, but at that point, you know, you almost put so much into your arms for the first two releases that it's a little bit difficult to relax and go easy into the smaller Coleman. And managed to get all the way through, probably because I had the three rests in that routine. But I don't remember waiting too long between the falls. So there you have it. There was the first post Oceania mock comp, and that's you know, that's the momentum that we're trying to create right now. We've got the upgrades. I'm not too convinced about the flop upgrade. I should probably be doing a bit more work on like a triple Russian, which I can already do, but somehow my spirit is going towards the Russian right now. And sometimes I'm okay just to do something that I enjoy more, like the double training, and sacrificing a bit more formal work on things that I'm actually going to use. So there you have it. Massive training week. Oh yes, that one hurt. There you go, there's the battle scar, showing off the battle scar. So big week ahead. You can look forward to me probably scoring about a 60 at this next Auckland Championship with all these new sends, but yeah, looking forward to it, to be honest. Thanks for watching, till next time.